All right, hello everyone, all CA Final students on this YouTube channel. So this video is not to hear from my side. ये तो आप बोर हो चुके रहोगे. We have Nisha Bagare, all right, from May 23, who has cleared CA Final, all right, both the groups in May 23. And the special thing is that she scored 69 marks, all right, in audit. Now, normally on this YouTube channel, you find the videos of 70 plus, 75, 77, 78, all right. However, एक चीज समझने जैसी है that relativity का concept, materiality is a relative term, all right. And in May 23, the first group papers were nothing less than a monster, all right. When we look at FR, SFM was the worst, if I'm not wrong, out of all the 4 papers. Then we had audit also not that great, and then law. Many of our students scored 60 plus. I have mark sheet where student has scored 60 and group 1 total is exact 200. So audit is scoring, and that is what I want each one of you to understand. But हमेशा हम प्रोफेसर्स कुछ ना कुछ बोलते रहते. It is important to understand students perspective, all right, कि उन्होंने तैयारी कैसे की है. So this is a very free wheeling conversation between myself and my dearest student. I think she would have applied for membership, but I will take the liberty now. CA Nisha Bagare, all right. A very very ethical person has not typed CA in the name as of now, but membership के लिए apply किया होगा. So welcome Nisha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here.
Arre, thank you for giving me the gift of 69 marks in May 23. I mean, if I consider my top 5 achievements, we have had AR1 in audit. AR1 rank theek hai, but AR1 in audit in multiple attempts. But this will sit in top 5 because May 23 was a tough paper.
Yeah.
And to crack 69 over there is good. So, Nisha, tell us something about your journey, because as I know about you, this was not your first attempt. All right. So this was your second attempt. So how did you bounce back from that November 22? What happened in November 22 and what did you do after that?
So actually, I was doing industrial training, so I did not get a proper amount of leaves which is required.
पर पैसा अच्छा
So
था.
yeah. तो उधर थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो गया, तो इसलिए I couldn't clear in November. So I gave in May this attempt.
For industrial training people, I will consider May 23 as
Yeah.
first attempt only. वो तुम्हारा तो होता ही नहीं first attempt. You just give
Yes.
it for school test.
So
Yeah,
that was the thing that I couldn't clear. But then I bounced back. I thought कि this is not the last attempt that I'm giving.
Correct.
अभी बहुत सारे हैं और आगे सक्सेस आना
Life
बाकी
बाकी है और बहुत भी.
हाँ, yes.
Correct.
This is not the last thing in
No,
my
May
life.
23, I love discussing with May 23 students because May 20 COVID की वजह से हुआ नहीं था.
Yes.
So May 23 में either there were students who technically could not give November 22, or the students who could not get through in November 22. So May 23 is all about inspiring stories.
Right.
So Nisha, tell us something about audit. What have you done? All right. Maybe I would have helped at some point of time, but what was your approach towards audit and towards CA Final as a whole? आपका study schedule थोड़ा briefly बताइए.
Yeah. So basically, I started the lectures long back, and I completed it before the study leave only. So I made it sure that I complete the audit lectures before the study leave, and along with that, I also completed the first reading. कि एटलीस्ट मेरा आइडिया होना चाहिए स्टडी लीव में कि मुझे कैसे स्टडी फ्लो में जाना है.
तो लेक्चर्स के साथ you were reading, or it was study leave के lectures were done then one reading before the study leave?
No, it was along with the lectures.
Okay, good.
Because lectures में मुझे याद है आप बोलते थे कि आफ्टर एवरी लेक्चर एटलीस्ट 20 मिनट्स निकाल के रीड करो. हाँ, कितना पढ़ा है वो रीड करो. तो आई यूज्ड टू डू दैट. सो उससे मेरा आइडिया क्लियर हो गया था कि क्या क्या है ऑडिट में और मुझे आगे कैसे प्लान करके चलना है वैसा. So after
टेस्ट लिखे थे आपने जो you were in regular course batch?
Yeah, regular course. थोड़े लिखे थे, but then थोड़ा ट्रैक चला गया था. हाँ. So then in study leave, then I started the first revision properly.
So study leave में देखो normally students are, because the kind of admissions that we get and the whole data analysis that we have is students, there are less number of students who like to do audit early, all right?
Yes.
There are some students who push it till the end.
Right.
तो lectures में भी ऐसा होता है काफी बार, all right? And they have some impression कि बस last में कुछ कर लेंगे, something like that. And study leave में भी they have that one shot audit करेंगे, but at the very end, all right? Because they will not retain things. So what was your approach?
Yeah, even I had the same approach कि थोड़ा late ही चालू करना है. So but I made it sure कि lectures study leave के पहले खत्म हो जाए.
Correct. So May 23 suppose your exam. So study leave में कौन से period में आपने audit लिया होगा?
Audit I did after around 3 subjects अगर मेरे consider होंगे FR, SFM and costing. I finished it and then I started with audit.
Correct.
ऐसा because
So
I kept
what kind of
DT.
strategy you adopted? Piecemeal रोज थोड़ा थोड़ा करो कि one shot करो? What was
Yeah, so first and second revision में मैंने क्या किया, I broke it down into pieces. आपने भी एक plan दिया था,
हाँ हाँ correct
like you can do 2 hours or 1 hour each
correct
every day, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके. So I followed that plan and
correct.
I did along with other subjects like FR के साथ 2 hours I removed in the morning for audit and I completed it. ऐसे धीरे धीरे
So
करके.
so FR के साथ थोड़ा 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 little audit.
Yes.
That is how you are doing it on piecemeal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
So that
but
was your first reading.
yeah. But
What about the
for
second?
yeah, first and second I followed this plan, and in the third revision I did it
So you
together
reached third
because
revision first of all.
yeah,
Congratulations for that.
yeah. So
Okay.
I did it together, but because after all एग्जाम में 1.5 डे में तो एक साथ ही करना पड़ता है, तो वो वार्म अप चाहिए एक साथ
Correct.
लेने का ऑडिट.
Correct.
So
Correct.
so
So
for that reason,
you did that dress rehearsal कि
yeah,
कैसे हो होगा.
yeah. So
And May
last
23 exam में भी I think you had couple of days leave, right?
yeah, we had a extra
Yeah.
leave for that.
So that is also good. Now
Yeah.
the next thing that I want to ask is that okay, you were industrial training student, but still in November 22 you could not clear, correct?
Yes.
I also failed my first attempt, and I'm very proud of that because after that I become a very good person, all right?
Yeah,
A very hardworking
exactly.
person, correct? But वो कहीं ना कहीं hit करता है, all right?
Right,
So
right.
at this point of time, all of these mental health issues and stuff, how do you tackle these things?
I would say that if
What
we
is the thought
stay
that keeps
strong,
you moving ऐसा आराम से that okay, we have to just go
हाँ.
on?
So I had only one thought that what is past is gone. Now
Correct.
for future is
Sunk
in my
cost.
hand. Yeah, future is in my hand, and what I can change is the future.
Correct.
So
That is what even Mahendra Singh Dhoni says.
yeah,
You can control the controllables. What is not
yeah,
controllable,
right,
you cannot think about that.
right. So I doubled my efforts for improving all that went wrong in the past attempts.
Many
Yeah,
a times what happens is that when a student does not clear, sometimes the family also starts crying in front of the student, all right,
yes, yes,
and they break down and stuff.
yes.
So how important was the support of your family during this whole period when you were clearing chartered accountancy?
Yeah, even in this attempt, my parents were like, whatever is the result, don't feel disheartened. We are all there to support you. So it is very important that you have that
That is
family
very good.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And now let talking about the technicalities of the subject. All right.
Yes.
There are lots of questions coming to my mind, so I'll just take it one by one. All right. When you're preparing, the most common queries that we get from the students is, "अरे standards auditing बहुत ज़्यादा है, अरे ये याद नहीं रहता है." See, every CA final student feels that
Yes,
याद नहीं रहता audit subject. Every CA final student feels that I cannot remember audit subject. All right.
yes,
Even if that person is AR1, still that person will feel that I cannot remember all the points. All right.
definitely.
So when that feeling came to you that okay, I'm not able to remember all the points, at some point of time तो कभी ऐसा hit हुआ होगा, all right?
Yes, yes.
So then how did you manage these things, all right? Was what I like about you is that you are a Aam Aadmi person, right? Aam Aadmi person in the sense that I am not talking to All India Rank 1 over here. I respect All India Rank 1 a lot, all right? I'm talking to a person who has made a point that okay, we can score in audit, all right,
Yes.
even though I may not have an All India rank, correct? So वो मुझे आपके साथ बहुत मजा आ रहा है बात करने में. So ये पूरा जो आपको फीलिंग आई होगी जो एक आम आदमी को आती है, right?
Yes, yes.
That was that ये नहीं हो रहा है, ये नहीं हो रहा है. So how did you tackle those things?
So अभी if I feel that I am not able to retain it, so I made it sure that I increase the amount of revision that I do in that.
The amount of revision and
हाँ,
not to leave touch with
frequency.
audit subject.
Yeah,
तो ये जो
that
वन शॉट स्ट्रेटेजी वाले लोग होते हैं that 15 days के लिए लेते हैं and direct at the end they take it up.
no,
That is where they
no.
lose the track.
Yeah, that is the thing. So
So
if you think that you are not able to retain it, the only thing I would suggest is you have to revise it again and again.
correct. You have to
Every
keep
2
on
days, every
revising
3
things.
days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one very personal question. So did you leave things in option after scoring 69? I don't think you would have. पर थोड़ा थोड़ा
Yes,
बच्चों को
yes.
बता सकते
I
हो
had
तो
left an option. I had left tax audit and a few C categories essays.
Okay, so when you leave things in option, correct?
Yeah.
So उसमें भी क्या टेक्निक होती है? Do you leave everything in option और थोड़ा थोड़ा देख के जाते हो?
नहीं, थोड़ा थोड़ा देखना पड़ता है. Like chances है कि वो जो आप देखोगे वही आ जाए.
For example, let us say you left tax audit in option and let us say there were a
Yeah.
couple of questions of tax audit over there.
Yeah.
And एक वो property का था अपना house उसका
Yes, yes.
fair value वगैरह का. So you were giving both the groups, so you had knowledge about taxation, correct?
Yes.
So did you attempt those questions or you did not attempt that particular?
No, I left the tax audit question because I couldn't recollect it at that moment.
Correct.
Yeah.
So because मैं सिर्फ अच्छी बात करने आज नहीं आया हूँ. I'm trying to
Right.
talk about all the weaknesses. मैं पहली बार I want to address every single fear of the student कि भाई ऐसा होता है. All right. Okay. And let us say when you leave few essays in option and tax audit in option, and what if the questions are asked from that? At least you had confidence that I'll be able to write something over there.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you had to
Because,
attempt, you would be in a position to write something over
yes, because in first revision, what I did, I tried to cover major 100% of it, so that
there. Right.
even in second and third, if I am not able to cover, I'll have some idea about it
Correct.
and able to write it in my own words.
Then in audit paper, May 23, many students said that bank audit MCQs were the worst. Alright.
Yes.
So because हमारे पास तो MCQs आते नहीं है, and I don't expect you to recollect exactly right now what was the MCQ, correct?
Yeah.
But was it that MCQs were not that great?
I would say those were the MCQs that students tend to leave, because
Correct.
those were very from a very corner of the
अच्छा एकदम
module.
छोटा वो उसमें से हाँ.
हाँ.
Correct.
So those were the things.
Okay, so this was all dreaded questions. अब मैं थोड़ा systematic जाता हूँ. So let us talk about the subject is divided into two parts. One is standards, another one is non-essay. Correct?
Yeah.
So देखो ये freewheeling conversation है, so you are not going to get flow charts. Both of us are just conversing, and you can get the maximum out of it. So standards है और non-essays है. All right. What is the area that you focused more when you were preparing? If I just divide this into two, essays or non-essays?
Yes. So I made it a point that I focus more on professional ethics and non-essay part, and
Correct.
then I took essay part. So because the non-essay is easy,
Has a good
easy
weightage.
and yeah, and they are short and easy and scoring.
Correct.
So
एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्टैंडर्ड्स एंड ऑडिटिंग, हमारा रेगुलर कोर्स का बुक होता है, वो थोड़ा लेंदी होता है. काफी बच्चों ने दूसरे प्रोफेसर्स के पास भी लिए होंगे कोर्स, सो दिस इज फॉर एवरीवन. ऑलराइट. हाउ डू यू एंश्योर दैट वो एक रीजनेबल तरीके से, कॉन्फिडेंट तरीके से आप कर लो? सो हाउ डिड यू ब्रिंग दैट कॉन्फिडेंस दैट ओके आई हैव ग्रिप ओवर इट? ऑब्वियसली आई हैड सपोर्टेड विद रिवीजन नोट्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट इज फाइन. करेक्ट. सो आपने कैसे फाइनली किया कि हाँ भाई ये मेरा ऐसे हो गया, बस अभी इसके आगे नहीं करना है, दैट्स इट?
whenever I used to read essays, I used to take your revision notes also, and I used to do from both. And
so
then,
regular course lectures and books can be kept, all right?
Yeah.
When you are ready, you can keep it in front of you, and you can start the revision videos, all right? And you can
Right.
go fatafat with those essays, correct? And you were able to attempt it, right?
Yes.
By any chance, have you ordered your certified copy?
No, actually, I have placed it yesterday only. So I'm waiting for the copies to come.
At least you have ordered, right?
Yeah.
So we would like students to see that. I know what kind of scores
Sure,
you have, if you don't mind.
I will share with you definitely.
Okay, we'll edit all that number and everything. Don't worry about it.
No worries.
Okay, and non-essay part में, when you looked at the paper, profession ethics बहुत पढ़ के जाते हैं बच्चे. And profession ethics questions were almost not there.
Not there.
It was around 8 marks or so, considering everything, correct?
Yeah.
And so what was the feeling when you looked at the question in the first 15 minutes? There was ये off paper है, तो profession ethics दिख ही नहीं रहा है. So what was the feeling over there?
वो था, दुख था कि इतना टाइम स्पेंड किया था प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स के साथ, बट आया ही नहीं. But then I was somewhere satisfied that whatever I know, I can attempt.
Correct. That is the confidence. At least जो है उसमें से we are going to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Addressing the pain points chapters like audit of banks, audit of NBFC, audit of PSU, audit of insurance, correct? I don't know why many liabilities of auditor, there was a question, correct?
Yes.
So I don't know why many students feel like, okay, ये नहीं हो रहा है, नहीं करना है. In fact, my view is that those chapters are manageable, correct?
Yes.
If we compare it with professional ethics and standards and stuff, by doing a limited content, you can do it, all right?
Yeah.
So what was your strategy for chapter audit subject minus essay minus professional ethics minus company audit, the balance audit subject, correct? So what was your strategy over there for these kind of chapters?
Except the non-essay you are talking about?
I'm saying standards को भूल जाओ, professional ethics भूल जाओ, company audit भूल जाओ.
Okay, understood.
So in that introduction lecture, I divided into 4 parts, no?
Yes.
So the last part, other chapters, audit of various entities and special audit assignments. Now you can't read every single page from the module because हर एक chapter से 10 mark नहीं आने वाला है.
Not possible. Yeah.
So what was the strategy? So with our books and your preparation, what was the strategy?
I personally made short notes from those chapters, such as CFS, then bank audit, insurance, PSU. I made keywords ka summary kind of I made.
So you made it on your own, thoda keyword summaries and stuff.
Yeah. so I could retain it better and revision be fast हो उससे.
Correct.
So this was something that helped me.
Correct. And the topics like जो section oriented है, clause oriented है, like peer review, quality review, like NFRA, SEBI resignation
Yeah,
circular and stuff.
same thing. I
So
made a
those things,
summary.
तो you were interested in doing it, right?
Yeah.
So वो ऐसा load नहीं लग रहा था that boss ये
Load
बहुत हो
नहीं था.
जाएगा.
Right.
अच्छा, in your study leave also, you started first with essays, non-essays, or you went with our timetable targets? How did you go about it?
No. After having a picture of what is there in audit, like as I said, first reading मैंने पहले ही कर लिया था.
Correct.
And then in revision, what I did, I started with something that boost my motivation. That is professional ethics.
Correct. So वो थोड़ा mood आता है.
हाँ, right.
Correct.
And then I moved to bank, that non-essay topics, and then in the end I took essays.
So that you can retain
this
also
was the
later on. You can stay
yeah.
connected and you can retain.
Yes.
Now I want to ask you the most difficult question. SFM was not good, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
So after you came from that SFM paper, all right, वो संभाला कैसे खुद को that okay, this is now I have to go ahead and score in audit and stuff. कितना रोया SFM के बाद, कितना frustration आया, and then आपने पढ़ाई कब start की? So all of that, can you just explain me the experience after SFM paper?
Yeah. So जब मैं घर पे आई SFM देके, so I was half like scared. I was scared totally that what will happen now. So but
How
then
I'm going to
I
clear
sat
it.
down. I did not take the question paper in my hand then. What I did was I sat down and I thought about it कि अभी तो 2 ही पेपर हुए हैं, अभी तो और पेपर जाना बाकी है. So if I lose my hope now, then what will happen? So then I told myself that अभी एक ही पेपर बुरा गया है, and ऐसे तो ऐसा करता ही है, एक तो पेपर बुरा निकालता ही है. So then I thought कि अभी हम ऐसे रिवेंज लेंगे.
Good.
So I
So now
thought कि
they
अभी मैं
pushed us back. Now we
exemption.
are going to push them back. That is the fighting attitude.
Yeah. So
अभी
I
करना
thought
ही है तो करना ही है. I think
में
I will not
SFM.
say this, but I hope that SFM paper हर एक attempt में थोड़ा तो difficult आए.
Right.
Because I really saw that many students fought and converted their 15 to 16 audit paper just because their SFM was tough.
Right.
कि अभी इसमें तो लाना ही है, कुछ भी हो जाए. Correct? There were 2 days का leave है, इसमें तो करना ही करना है, whatever happens. Right? Maybe that also would have pushed you a little bit more. अगर SFM बहुत ही comfortable होता, maybe you would have scored 4-5 marks less. Correct? But this would have pushed you somewhere कि अभी इसमें तो निकालना है.
Yes.
Good. Now, when that question paper comes in front of you, that first 15 minutes are very crucial.
Right.
So how do you spend that time?
So that time you just have to go through the questions. वो भी
Do you read the whole question?
No. That only. I read the main crux of the question. That is in the last line.
Last 2 lines से idea आ जाता है that from which chapter it is.
Yeah.
So material uncertainty or going on, the SFI and I will do it. Right?
बराबर.
Form 3CD, I'm not able to do it.
So this is what I followed. Even you had told us in a
that tips,
video,
techniques, and all that we keep giving.
Yeah. So I followed that. I just read the last line and I marked which questions I'm confident about and which I'm not confident. And and I started attempted. So first I attempted the descriptive part. And then I kept.
That is very good. So first 15 minutes, you saw the last 2 lines, correct?
Yeah.
And that is how you came across that okay, yeah. So you are not supposed to find your whole future in first 15 minutes. It is just about getting the feel of the paper. वहाँ पे काफी बच्चे गलत जाते हैं, trying to read every single line of the question, trying to solve some questions in that first 15 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you start attempting, you started with descriptive first.
Yeah, I started with descriptive. 2 hours 15 minutes मैंने descriptive के लिए रखा. And then I moved on to MCQ for 45 minutes.
Risky इंसान है तू.
So this was the plan. Because
you knew that in the last 45 minutes I'll be able to do MCQs.
Yeah, because
that's a good calculation. But
trying
when the descriptive paper is not that comfortable, all right, and waiting for MCQs at the end or wo decision pe stick karna that okay, I'm going to do this, all right, this is my methodology. That's a very brave call, I should clap for that. It's a very brave
Thank
call.
you, sir. Because some methods may suit me, but some may not suit others. So it depends on your whatever.
But somehow it acted as a blessing in hindsight, right? Because MCQs में थोड़े बहुत MCQs were not good, right?
Right.
If you would have attempted it first, correct? So थोड़ा वो ये हो जाता. Descriptive में एक चीज तो है that there you are not going to get confused. Either you know it or you don't know it.
Yeah, that is the thing.
So even I would like to suggest students that descriptive वगैरह में, they can try to first get some marks, that okay चलो मेरे को 10 mark आ गया, 12 mark आ गया, 15 mark आ गया. That will boost their confidence. MCQ में तो everyone knows that 6 to 7 MCQs तो tricky होने ही वाला है.
होने वाला है.
And that will somehow dent your confidence here and there.
बराबर.
Okay. That is how you went. And descriptive में when you are attempting, all right. So how much of your focus is on the length of the answer?
Yeah, so I made it sure that crisp हो आंसर, brief हो. Like extra points लिख के सिर्फ
हाँ,
बढ़ाना नहीं है.
मैंने in my CA Final I scored exemption in all subjects. I did not take supplementary even in one subject. Right? So it is about writing relevant points. Right? Because many students are not understanding this. They are writing 1.5, 2 pages and stuff, and they are going on and on and on and on and with that.
And the keywords are the most important, and underlining the keywords is also important. And as you write the answer, make it sure that you underline the key points as
So
well.
it somehow it adds the cosmetic to the paper,
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Any more tips that you would like to give to the students? Just tell them more about the study material. Let us say I give you from the classes, correct?
yes.
And more about how much of the ICI module you had to open up and go through that, or you just went once through it just to get the feel of it, all right? Or how much of too many notes and stuff that you had to go through, all of that.
Yeah, so I did not go through too many sources because that would also create a confusion in the end. So I referred your notes and I referred the module. So I made sure
module में से एक feel आ जाता है कि चलो हम लोग बराबर जा रहे हैं, so it's not a big problem.
Yes, so majorly module material is already covered in your notes. Yeah. So I just went through to understand how is the framing, is there anything else?
हाँ, वो करना ही चाहिए. It gives you confidence, है? No matter how good the professor is, but you should do that. वो तो मैं तो हमेशा बोलते हूँ, it gives you a little bit of more confidence.
Yes.
Even okay, we are going on right track.
Yeah, even you had told to refer few points in company
few points on the module here and there, correct.
Yeah. So I referred those, and also I referred the ICI MCQ booklet.
MCQ booklet is must. वो तो करना ही.
Yeah.
And you have to go through that.
Yeah. So this was the major material that I followed.
Okay. So, and any further tips for audit subject that you would like to give to the students?
I would give important.
We talked about study material, we talked about your approach, we talked about your schedule, we talked about your paper. All right. Any further tips? Audit scoring है कि नहीं है?
स्कोरिंग तो बहुत है अगर
तो थोड़ा डर लगता है प्रिपरेशन के टाइम.
हाँ तो मैंने आपसे इंटरसीए में भी लेक्चर्स लिए थे मतलब.
So your group one total is 209 and audit में 69. मतलब I am तो on cloud 9. Wow, what a rhyme. So that's great. Acha, Nisha, about overall preparation, would you like to give some tips, that...
one thing I would like to say that what mistake I did was first division में मैंने थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम ले लिया था. But then I realized कि वो ज़्यादा time is not a bad thing because quality is what matters. Even if it's going ahead of the timeline, but make sure there's a good balance between the quality you're covering and the time.
Just finish it off, not like that. You and the points you should absorb the points a little bit.
Yes. So even if it's 2 revision, make it sure that you are doing a quality revision.
And and you need to be really frank with me, all right? Even if you're critical of me, it is okay. If the students follow whatever continuous guidance I keep on giving them, timetable, targets, this is how you're supposed to do, small tips, at the end I gave some tips like how you're able to supposed to write the paper, how you're supposed to read the question paper, I used to be very active on Telegram and stuff. May 23, obviously, fortunately, I was more active in May 23, all right? So that much paper bit of the active with that problem. So can students follow that guidance and they can get
yes, definitely. You have done a great job being such a big support to all the students, and I really look up to you for audit subject especially because you really developed the liking for all the students towards audit. Yes, sir.
So we are going to meet soon in all our success party.
Sure.
Over there. All right. And I think everyone has got their replies to all the questions. I'm very thankful to Nisha and her family also for providing such wonderful support to her. And Nisha especially scoring of 69 in audit is going to forever be there in my memory. And if you think that we haven't addressed some of the questions or something, because in May 23, 69 is 78, 79 in any other attempt. All right. So if you think that we haven't addressed any queries, you can type it in the comments over here. I will personally send screenshots to Nisha, and I would request Nisha that if there are comments, you can just reply
Yes.
to them. All right. So that
Yes.
they will be more, very clear about what they are supposed to do. All right.
Yes. Yes. No problem.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
giving
sir.
your inputs.
Yeah.